Whoa! This is How Do We Human, the podcast where we talk about all the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Binning.
I'm one of your hosts, Evan Cox.
Today we're going to be talking about the malls. Some of them are not as popular as they used to be, but also if you go into some malls, they're fucking packed as shit. What's the deal?
What's the deal with that?
Evan?
Who, me?
Before we get into the mall, I want to talk to you here in the parking lot and ask, how you doing?
This is just foreshadowing for where the rest of the episode's going. But like you saying that just made me happy. I love to hang out in a mall parking lot. This is a nostalgia episode for me. I'm excited, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a different parking lot. I'm talking about a laundromat parking lot. One of my favorite places. I've mentioned it before. I don't go very often, but when I do, A, it's Dos Equis. B, I enjoy myself. My parents were coming to visit. They just left yesterday. We're here for about a week. We had a great old time in Los Angeles, California. But before they were coming, I told them they could stay with me. I've got the space. They could sleep in my bed. I'll sleep on the couch. And I'm going like, I should wash the bedding. You know, that's the least I can do.
Yeah.
Go do some laundry. I've got a big down comforter. You can't put that in my washing machine. That's it'll break it. It's too heavy.
Rip.
But they got the heavy duty machines at the place down the road. So I kept going like I wanted to do it the day before, but then I'm like, but then I'm gonna sleep in it, and that kind of feels like wasted because it had been hot at that point, and I'm sweating all in there. I'm like, did it make a difference that I washed it at all? So I ended up just doing it the morning of, like, let's get some laundry done quick, woo! You know, they were flying in at, I think they were getting in at like 11 or so. So I was like, I gotta get up, I gotta go to the laundromat, knock this out. That really doesn't have much to do with anything other than that's how I got to the laundromat. The story I want to tell is about this little old lady who was super cute. I'm washing my laundry. She's next to me. I need to take my allergy medicine. Worse than normal. Yeah.
Please leave all of that in the episode.
I'll listen to it and see how gross it sounded. So English was her second language, and she was trying to ask me questions because clearly hadn't been to this particular laundromat before. The machines are kind of confusing. You know, they've changed them now so you can do it off the app or with quarters. So if English is your second language and you're just using quarters, there's a whole bunch of instructions to do it with the app. I think she was just kind of getting confused in general. So she was trying to figure out how to get it to be hot water. She wanted it to be hot water, not cold water. Auto on it is cold water. And so I'm looking through and I go, and I flip it to the thing. You have to hit like program like 5 times. This is how, convenient it all is. Hit program 5 times. That brings you to the number 1. And if you look at the chart, number 1 says hot water. And I'm like, okay, there, great. She's like, oh, great. And now the thing is flashing 50 cents because she already put her quarters in. Hot water costs extra.
Got her.
Oh, come on. This, compared to everything else, seemed to be a long stretch to explaining that she needed to add 2 quarters in. It took a while. And she had this...
Because she got on her Spotify, right? And started playing some...
50 Cent.
Hip-hop, yeah.
Yeah. This is what I wanted. I'm like, yes, now I feel better. Let's go. Hot water. Boom. Find me in the laundromat. Putting quarters in machines. This is a good parody. She's got this little jar of that's the problem here. A jar of what? I don't know. I assumed it was detergent, like dry detergent. You know, you can have the powdered stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's also one of those, you pull out the tray. It's got 5 little slots. 1, 2, they're all numbered. One's for bleach, one's for detergent, one's for softener, blah, 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 blah. So she shows me that, asking, like, where does it go? Because she can't figure out the chart. And I'm like, okay, detergent there. So it goes in 2. And she goes, okay, where does this go? And she pulls out a bottle that, to me, I'm like, shit, I think that's also detergent. What? And so now I'm trying to figure out, like, what do you mean? Like, are these both detergent? So now I'm like, well, the liquid one, that has to be detergent. It doesn't say on it detergent or not. So I'm trying to get her to show me the dry one, and she's like, no. I'm like, what? No, let me just read the front. And she's like, no. What do you?
Ancient
this would help a
recipe.
lot. This would help a lot. And so, like, I grab it and turn it, and it just says, like, garlic, minced garlic on it. It's just like a container that she filled with detergent. So we had a good laugh about that. We got it all squared away. But she never put in that extra 50 cents. And what the machine did was, instead of waiting any longer for her to put in 50 cents,
reverted to cold water.
Not quite. If it did, the conversation might have continued. It switched to, like, the warmest version, which is kind of smart for a machine. The warmest version of what that money could get her, which was permanent press. And I'm like,
okay,
that's that setting that I've never fucking known what that does.
I don't know what that does.
I don't know if, like, little machine arms come out and just press it till the water is out of it. I looked it up, and it's like, this is a warm setting. It's pretty specific. I already forgotten what you use it for. Like, certain types of fabrics, you'll just want a warm water that's not too da-da-da-da-da. And in my mind, I'm like, she wanted hot water to kill the bacteria because she's doing the same thing as me. She's washing bedding. You want that hot water. I'm just going to let this go. I'm just going to let her. It's going to run on permanent press. It's going to be warm water. It's not going to kill that bacteria, but you're not going to be able to tell when you get back, right?
Right.
Unless the next time I go to the laundromat, she's there all dressed in black because her family died from the bacteria I didn't help her kill. It was a tough...
You're saying that she's going to go straight from the funeral to the laundromat?
Well, that's where it happens. That's the room where it happened.
What? This is what Hamilton is about.
Yeah, that's where the memorial is, right on top of the machine. A picture of her dead family and a picture of me with an X over my face. But that's all. It was a tough decision of knowing, like, I think, like, communication had hit its end point, and I don't know. It wasn't what she wanted. But I had to go move to the dryer by that point. Did I make the right call, or should I have stuck around and really made sure?
Nope. You made the right call.
It's one of those things that's, like, so unimportant in both of our lives, in mine and hers. But, like, it really weighed on me and has stuck with me to this moment of, like, should I have just, like, I should have gone back around and just, like, grabbed a cup. I would have felt shitty. I don't want to grab her quarters and put them in, but I did want her to have hot water like I did. It just didn't work out. It wasn't meant to be. I'm sorry, ma'am. You were very nice. Chris!
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Of course, we're going to talk about plenty of shopping related stories. Really? And I have one of those right now, but it's not at a mall because I made basically my annual, it seems like, trip to Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's, a grocery store with the reputation of being both healthy and cheap, and you get in there and that ain't it, baby.
Don't get me started.
It also, I don't know if this has happened to you, but I remember seeing back when I was on Twitter before it was a nightmare. I remembered seeing a lot of tweets that are like, oh man, there's so much sexual tension between me and a Trader Joe's cashier. And I have never experienced anything like that. I don't know if that's on me or what, but
you might not be putting it out there.
I guess it sure seems like every cashier at that Trader Joe's doesn't want to be a cashier at Trader Joe's. So, but anyway, I went over there to see what sort of new snacks I could find.
You want a new snack?
And there was a person with a little table set up for samples.
Yeah.
And these samples were pretzels
Mm-hmm.
coated in vanilla and strawberry icing. Sounds delicious. 3 of my favorite ingredients.
Yeah.
Evan, I don't know if you've ever had a situation where the sample giver is so strange that you avoid getting a free sample of a food you want.
Oh no.
She's over there. I'm not even at the table yet. I'm like going through some of the produce and things to look, and she's like leading several other employees in like big stretches.
Oh no.
So she's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like,
no.
I don't
I hate this.
I don't want to be a part of this. And then, she's, as certain people come by, and hey, she's really only calling out to the women that are shopping, but like, I want a vanilla strawberry pretzel too.
Yeah, you're dressed like one right now.
Exactly. I'm all twisted.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh, these are our new for summer only pretzels. I'm like, oh no, and there's a ticking clock. I can only get these pretzels for so long. But then I also hear her ask another shopper, can you do a squat? Now I really don't want to go over here.
That's an awkward question in any situation, period. Personal trainer asks me, can you do a squat? I'm like, I think I'm out. I think I'm going to leave.
Yeah. So she's asking if people can do squats, and like she's a very loud talker. Like this Trader Joe's it's not a very big Trader Joe's, but
yeah,
you can hear her pretty much anywhere in the store.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, me and this other customer, we're talking that these pretzels would make a great cereal. Just put them all in a bowl, put some milk in there. Like, look, I love a sugary cereal. I love all these ingredients. That sounds disgusting.
I'm kind of sold on it.
The salt from the pretzel mixing with the milk. I don't care for that.
I think I'm with her.
Oh no! Hashtag I'm with her.
I'm gonna start doing squats. Oh, here I go.
Oh no! Well, I stood in front of the bags of pretzels, and I was like, should I just buy them and then I'll get to try it that way? But then I'm paying for it instead of getting it for free. But if I go to the sample table, I'm paying for it with my life. So
and your thighs.
I ended up just not trying that food that sounded delicious.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
I know.
You had to buy them. Because that's we could do a whole episode on Trader Joe's. My girlfriend's a huge Trader Joe's fan, and I'm with you. It doesn't add up. It's not nearly.
Some of the food is good.
So that's the thing. Like some of the food is great.
Yeah.
But it's all the super unhealthy snacks. And I'm like, I've already got a source for those. I don't need help with super unhealthy snacks.
Yeah. I bought a lot of unhealthy, especially dessert things. Like they've got a lot of really good dessert stuff, and I bought a lot of it.
She always buys me.
I felt a great shame because they don't have the self-scan checkout.
No.
Maybe that's why I didn't get any sexual tension, is because I'm putting out like ice cream sandwich after ice cream sandwich. This
Yeah.
cashier's like,
And the
what
cashier's-
the fuck?
Cashier's like, "Are you sure you didn't want to do some squats with Martha?"
Yeah.
It's like you could use
Yeah,
it.
the squats were really for you.
No, Jocelyn always gets me these little like pretzels filled with peanut butter and covered in
Yeah.
chocolate. And I'm like, they're some of the best things I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
They will be
they
the
have
death
a
of
lot
me.
of good snacks. I will, as long as we're talking Trader Joe's, and I could also do an episode on Trader Joe's, but
Maybe it's coming. Who
maybe
knows?
it's coming. I found it also very odd that and I don't know how to feel about this because I don't know if I'm overreacting, but it felt very bizarre for everything that I saw to be labeled Trader Joe's, except for Asian food, which is labeled Trader Ming's. That felt like I had to do a double take over there when I was grabbing some fried rice.
That is interesting because they got in trouble for their Mexican food used to be called Trader Jose's. And then at a
Right.
certain point, people were like, this isn't good. I've never heard that or noticed that. And that's funny that they like didn't make the connection or were just like, well, no one's noticed this one.
No
yet.
one's talking about this one.
Oh, boy.
Also,
Trader.
to tie it back to parking lots,
Yeah.
why is it that Trader Joe's consistently has the worst fucking parking
That's one
lots out
thing
of
Jocelyn
any
and
other
I agree
retailer?
with. we got there, and it's like, their spots are too small for a car.
Their spots are too small, and the layout of the parking lot is like all
Nonsense.
sorts of diagonals going different directions.
Go in, take a left, take a left, take a left. In your mind, you're like, I should be just right where I started. Nope. Now you've found their parking. There's portals, and it's hard to get in. It's hard to get out. So just do some squats. Have a pretzel. We got to go to the mall. Let's go to the mall today. Pretzels. Hey, you get some Annie Ann's or some Wetzels at the mall. That's an old time favorite for me.
Yeah, the last time I was in a mall, I think, unless I'm getting my dates mixed up, I did have an Auntie Anne's pretzel and kind of decided I think I like Wetzel's better.
I think I agree. Yeah. First off, does George Clooney know that you've been in a mall?
Oh,
This
does
is a good
George
joke.
Clooney. No, I've been in a mall.
Because his wife's name is Amal.
Oh, this is a good joke.
This is a good joke.
Let's pause to reflect on what a good joke is.
let's
And moving on.
let's pause to look that up and make sure I'm right.
You are right. That is her
That is
name.
her name.
Yeah, you are correct.
Amal Clooney. Okay, I'm funny.
I was trying to connect it to a movie title, but yes, that is correct.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mall.
Yes.
I'd watch it. You'd watch it too. Come
Yep.
on. No, I said this was a nostalgic episode, and you know why that is?
Because you have not been to a mall in many years.
Because this is where I spent the rest of my teen years.
Oh,
This-
yeah. Were you skateboarding out in the parking lot?
The Yager Skate Park in Olympia, Washington is across the street from the Capitol Mall. So we would, I spent my teen years skateboarding and straight up being a mall rat. We would
Interesting.
skate
Was
our
it-
little hearts out, carry our boards around the mall, not buy anything. I can't say I was shopping. And then get some food at the food court. But I would spend hours with my friend Robbie, just kind of walking around the mall.
Was it anything like Kevin Smith put to film?
Everything like it. It was exactly the same.
Awesome.
Put my hand down my pants and gave someone pretzels. That is one of those.
You've
like,
heard of Auntie Anne's and the Wetzels. But have you had a pretzel from Evan's Pants?
That's right. That is one of those
From
movies.
the makers of Evan's Creep Shack comes Evan's Pants.
I openly acknowledge, like, that's not a good movie, but it does have a soft spot.
You kind of like it, yeah.
It's fun. It's just a lighthearted, fun movie. It's not good.
It's not good, and I don't recommend it to.
I talking of the sharing content episode. I can't recommend that to anybody.
No.
Don't watch Mallrats.
But I do like.
But
it.
I love it. Yeah. Jason Lee. What more needs to be said? But yeah, what time in were you hopping around the mall as a teenager, or was this later in life when you got more into buying DVDs? Because we'll get to that, but that's also a big part of why I'd go to the mall, is just to go to Best Buy and Suncoast Video, see what I can find. FYE.
Yeah,
anybody?
Typically, as a kid, I don't remember going to the mall too often, with a few exceptions. So there were 2 malls where we lived. There was, and they're both still there. So there are the Arizona Mills Mall.
Ooh, I like that name.
And the Chandler Fashion Center.
Wow, you got good sounding malls out there.
Yeah. Arizona Mills, I only went to a handful of times, and it was almost exclusively to go to GameWorks, the like arcade place, the Rainforest Cafe.
Fuck yeah.
And for a little while they had one of those Warner Brothers like studio stores in there, so we went there a couple times.
Sweet.
But I remember my mom especially being like, I don't like to go to the Arizona Mills Mall because the people there, the other people that shop there, she was not a fan of how different they are. Is the worst way to phrase that. But the at the Chandler Fashion Center, we didn't even really go in there much. That was mostly to go to like
walk in
the Harkins movie theater,
wearing a bunch of clothes and saying, "Could I be wearing any more clothes?" Did anyone ever do that?
Did anyone ever do that?
Yeah, at the Chandler Fashion Center.
Yes, I got it.
I would be making that joke all the time.
Any more obvious? Yeah.
At that age, come on, that's classic. That's funny.
Yeah,
I would do that every day. I would open the mall that way.
Yeah, and then of course, after you spend time in the Chandler Fashion Center, you go over to Ross.
Hey, it's me, Ross. Oh,
we were on a break,
like
baby.
Dinosaurs. What?
I've been married several times, baby.
Oh.
It's me, Ross. Yeah, so I didn't really go into malls very often.
Interesting.
Because I also feel like, malls and shopping centers are like separate
beasts.
Entities. And I think that we mostly went to shopping centers.
Interesting.
And then my main mall time that I remember is in high school for like Black Friday. We would go to the mall. Me and a handful of friends.
I've been to, it's almost like a human instinct. I have been to the mall on Black Friday, but on accident. And never I've never gone and done the thing, like show up at 4 a.m. or whatever fucking time people show up for Black Friday and fight people for stuff. I've never done that, but I always will just end up at the mall at like 3 p.m. that day because I'm like, that sounds kind of fun. And then I get there and go like, oh yeah, it's Black Friday.
Oh, yeah. Everything's sold out.
yeah, everything's gone. This place looks like a nightmare.
I do remember being at the Chandler Fashion Center around midnight one Black Friday. Um, it may have even been earlier than midnight, actually, because Black Friday times kept getting earlier and earlier.
Yeah.
But we were all lined up like around the outside of the mall. It was a long line. Then they opened those doors, and like it's really only a handful of people that like sprint in there, and they're tearing up as fast as they can, and everybody else is kind of like, yeah, let's walk around and see what's going on.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I
feel like as an adult, I've gone to the mall much more often, and maybe that's just like now that I like, especially out here, like I've gone to the Burbank Mall a bunch,
which I've never been to,
and then also the Pasadena or the Santa Anita Mall that's out here.
All I've got over here is the Americana, which who doesn't like an outdoor mall? But that doesn't feel like a
the
mall.
Galleria.
La Galleria, and then just the Beverly Center where I can buy a shoe for $8,000.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts because the reason I've been going to the mall a lot more frequently in the last month or so, and that's because my fiance and I are looking to take our engagement photos. But she doesn't know what she wants to wear.
Gotcha.
So we've been looking for outfits for her and for me, but I've already found stuff for me because it's easier.
You're wearing it right now.
That's right. Yep. This old t-shirt.
This old t-shirt.
This old t-shirt where the collar is kind of like folded in on itself up here. That's what I'm going to wear to our engagement. You want to get a nice dress?
That's cool.
But so we've been looking for stuff for her, and so we've been wandering around the malls a bunch. We went to the Galleria and the Americana, classic Rick Caruso institution.
You know, since he lost,
just a nightmare to be at.
The guy needs support.
But one of the places we went into was Nordstrom, and we were walking out, and there was, we didn't find anything, but we were walking out, and we passed this like table of shoes, and it was like these heels, and they were very like silver and sparkly.
Damn.
My fiance has a pair similar to it, but the difference was this pair that was in the store had the big logo across like the strap that's over the toe, and it looked awful because of it. And it was almost $2,000.
Damn.
For this ugly ass shoe.
What was the brand? What was the name?
Christian Dior, baby.
Dior. Yeah, it is. I don't know. That's its own. Is brands an episode? I mean, brands is an episode.
Brands is an episode. Yes,
but like, yeah, that is funny how that's changed over the years. Like, that's so much more a modern thing that we want to like wear the brand name more than caring about the outfit itself. I say we, but I really mean you. You're walking around just with. Can't think of any other name. Dior on your chest. I don't fucking know. But like
Gucci.
Yeah, like you get exactly. You get a handbag and it says Gucci 1 billion times on it, and that's the style. I'm sure brands are thrilled about it. As two people wearing blank shirts.
Yeah. We were at Abercrombie and Fitch at
love those guys.
Trips as well.
Fitch is a hoot.
Speaking of modern things,
yes,
Abercrombie and Fitch of paper taped to some of the racks of clothes, especially by the women's clothes, because also a bunch of stores in the mall are like, here are a bunch of clothes for women, and we have 3 shirts for dudes.
Here's the table.
Yeah,
dude table.
Yep. Do you want a blank t-shirt for $65? But anyway, there are these pieces of paper taped to the racks of women's clothes. And these in big, bold Arial font as seen on TikTok.
Whoa! I have not seen that before.
This is the only time I've seen it, is in this Abercrombie and Fitch. Because it's also like, fucking, isn't any piece of clothing on TikTok? It's anybody can be on TikTok. Is it just what they're wearing? Is it an Abercrombie and Fitch ad that they're referencing?
Yeah, or is it
what do
like,
you mean as seen on TikTok?
I mean, it's probably they partner with TikTokers and have them wear shit, but yeah, I don't know.
guess,
Maybe they're just doing it on their own. It kind of, that's like, I'm thinking about it. It's like, that is the modern version of as seen on TV. Obviously, the product would be different.
Yeah.
But TikTok's probably as big as TV used to be.
Yeah, probably.
Like, wow. Interesting. As seen on TikTok. Where do they should just have those TikToks on a loop.
Yeah.
You
yeah. Explain it to me, because I'm old.
Explain it. I don't understand what you're doing. Fascinating. As seen on TikTok. I gotta get to the mall. It is fun. Here's a gross side of me, is like just having this here's the gross side of me. I'm broke.
Disgusting.
Gross.
Ew.
Tomorrow's payday. I'm very excited. You pay for the things you got to pay for. I got my car registration this month I had to pay for. I'm running out of cash. But just having this conversation, I'm like, yeah, I could go to the Americana.
Yeah.
That sounds great. I don't need to buy anything. I just like walking around the mall. It's a comfort space. I do, though, want to reel back to my teen years again. The reason I like to talk about my teen years is there's no more awkward time, and we like to talk about awkward things. And in my experience, when I'm a high schooler, you're how old? I mean, I guess you graduate. I think I was 18 when I graduated, maybe late 17. I feel like most people are 18, regardless.
Yeah.
I had my driver's license for a while, so at this point, me and my friends I had my driver's license before a lot of my friends, so I'm generally the one driving. I would drive us to the mall a decent amount. And while you're still in high school, there's that thing where, like, you're, at least in my life, I didn't have a dating world. I was dating nobody. But your world, in your mind, your world of your options are the people that you go to high school with. I'm not, like, meeting other people outside. I'm a very insular person at this point in my life. And the mall is a place where high school people get jobs. And just in general, it was always strange to see a classmate working. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what the hell? But man, there would be like, hey, cute girl I go to high school with got a job at the mall. And now I know where she works. I'm not going to go hang out there like some sort of creep.
I'm just going to walk around outside peering into the store.
100% And it's like, how awful. What a fucking nightmare. And also, what a bad impression to put on someone of like, Jesus, Evan hangs out at the mall a lot. And never seems to buy anything.
Never buys anything.
But it's just like, it's just instinct where it's like, I don't have a plan. I'm not like, at a certain point, I'm going to get noticed this much. And then I'm going to go in and be like, oh, hey, it's you. Like, no, there's no thought going into this. It's just like, maybe something happens. Maybe if I keep walking by, maybe something happens. I don't know. So I was like,
that was my big plan as well. Trying to date was like, maybe somebody else will notice me and do all the work.
That'd be great. I'll just keep walking. I'm good at that. I'm great at walking around the mall. And now that I've found this little pocket, I can walk around.
When you were in your teen years and you were a skater boy,
I know.
I can't believe that you didn't find someone who did ballet Or did they all say "See you later, boy"?
I didn't remember ballet being a part of that song.
I was recounting the lyrics to the best of my ability during most of your story.
Skater boys. I don't know. I'll take your word. She did ballet.
Yeah,
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think it was like she did ballet.
But he had a board and went in the bowl, and we smoked a bowl. I said, "See you later, boy." I don't know.
He was a punk. She did ballet. What more can I say?
What more can I say? Say more, Avril. He was a skater boy. I said, "See you later." I always hated that song. It's funny how like kind of pop rock from that time, like early 2000s. There's a lot of pop rock, pop punk that I hated at the time, and I can't say I don't hate, quote unquote hate, but like the hate softens so much when you get older that I'm like,
yeah,
nah, it's good.
Nah, let me listen to it.
It's a good song. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. I have one more just to stay in these sad, awkward teen years that were awkward, Evan. I did, and I've mentioned this before, I went to one dance. I had one date with a lady. And we went to the homecoming dance together. And it's almost like I recognize now if when I was younger, I just started going to these dances every year, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But, instead of going to dances, I just watched movies about kids going to dances where it's the most important moment of their lives.
Correct.
So it's like, I gotta fucking, I gotta do this right or she's gonna hate me. And I'm like, all right, we're gonna go to dinner. I'm gonna take her to Olympia. I'm gonna take her to Olympia, Washington, and we're gonna go get dinner. And we did. And I talked to her about it. What kind of food do you like? We found food we both liked. You know what that was? Chinese food. Who doesn't love the stuff? We went and we got Chinese food in Olympia. My planning, and I feel like I still do this as an adult sometimes, but especially then, I'm like, all right, going to dinner, probably going to take like 3 hours. And it doesn't. Often you're in and out in an hour.
Yeah.
Unless you go to In-N-Out, then you're probably in and out in less than an hour. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Depends on the line.
Yeah.
Can be a long line. Could be an hour.
Yep.
So we finished eating. I paid for it. I remember that being a big thing, was like, I have the money. I can afford it. It's all I can afford. If she wants to do anything fucking else, I can't afford it. But I can afford this. And I felt like, wow, big man. And then we walked out of the restaurant and went like, so if we go to the dance now, it's not open. It won't be open for another 3 hours because Evan's bad at planning. And do you know what I suggested as a thing we could do?
Walk around the mall.
I suggested to my date, why don't we just walk around the mall? And I retroactively, I will say she said no. And it's one of those things like, well, if she said no, what does it fucking matter? Why do you think about this still? I think about it because it was an insane thing to suggest. But that's where I was in my life. Like, that's what I do with most of my time. She's like, oh, maybe we go to like the waterfront and walk around. I'm like, yeah. And in my mind, I'm going like, fuck, I don't remember how to get to the waterfront.
There's no Wetzel's Pretzels.
There's no
at the
Wetzel's at the
waterfront.
waterfront. No, I was stressed because I couldn't remember how to get to the waterfront. I think I drove us around to try to find it, and I failed. And just kept bringing up like, yeah, we could just walk around the mall. You want to just walk around the mall? Like, not at all. No, I don't.
Yeah,
I'm embarrassed by this.
You've unlocked a memory for me.
These are the memories you don't want to remember, but I'm here to unlock them.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Just running through the vault with keys, trying to open up whatever you can.
I am the key master.
It's I was driving around these two girls who were a year younger than me.
Uh-oh.
And at some point I was interested in both of them. And I don't remember
Damn.
which one I was interested in at the time of this story.
Great.
But
you
at
had
some
them both
point,
in your car.
Had them both in the car, and they were like, "Let's go to Kohl's, baby." And I was like, "You got it."
I don't know why that's
And
such a
start
funny place to want to
driving,
go.
And
Let's
I
go
was
to
like,
Kohl's.
"Oh shit! I could have sworn Kohl's was on this street, but I don't see it anywhere."
Oh God! Pre Google
time.
Maps was a nightmare to live through.
Yeah.
You Gen Zers will never know what it meant to get completely lost. With cuties in the car. It's a bad feeling.
Speaking of horny feral mall children.
Yeah.
When this was the same day, I believe, that we were at that Abercrombie and Fitch. We were coming out of a different store, and this was like just a women's fashion store, women's clothing.
Yeah.
And outside of the store on the little bench or whatever, the little median or whatever in the center, there's a couple of I think they're high schoolers sitting there, and one of them has a sign.
Okay.
And at first glance, you're like, homeless. But at second glance, you say, there's no M in this word. And it says, holess.
Wow.
Can I get your number?
Okay.
And it's just sitting there, sign posted up.
How
outside
many?
the women's clothing store.
Is this just one person or a group of kids?
It was only one person with a sign, but he was sitting with like two other people
who were taking the you and I method of if we just hang around this, we're not doing this, but we're nearby.
We're not doing this, but as long as you're looking in this direction.
I like hoes.
Hey, I like hoes. Yeah, because he's probably gonna be drowning in it. There's gonna be some overflow over here. And this probably could have been another thing for TikTok or whatever.
Yeah, true.
Maybe somebody was filming him, waiting for someone to approach. Who knows?
That's a good point.
But mall pranks or mall
shenanigans,
social media activity, is a thing that I don't want to see at the mall.
No,
I don't want to see any of that. There was no point to that story. It was just a weird thing I saw.
It was the weirdest, most specific segue into my last story.
Perfect.
It was very wild that you brought that up, because that's how this felt to me. And then we can collectively talk about all these things. I brought this up on a previous episode, probably because we already did an episode on shopping, I believe. And so I think so. I skimmed past this, but didn't actually tell the whole story. This was also in high school. Again, my teen years, prime mall Evan. And I was primed and ready to go. My friend Josh, I'm going to just name people here. I'm calling you all out. He was in a psychology class. And it's weird because I also took psychology in high school, and this never fucking came up. But he was in a psychology class, and you needed to go out and do a social experiment. Come up with something. Exactly. Like, oh, thank God it didn't come up in mine. But I found my way in on someone else's. So he needed to come up with a social experiment and report on the find. And so, class-wise, it's a case of the scientific method of I expect this to happen. Sure. This was the control group. This we did X, this we did Y, this we did Z, and this is how it all turned out. Blah, blah, blah. Write your report. So his plan was to go. He wanted to give me, and I believe it was me, my friend Robbie, my friend Johnny, and myself. So conveniently, he's like, I'm just observing. I'm not going to take part in this. I have to have the pad of paper and write down what you fucking idiots do.
Yep.
But please do
Smart.
this for me, you fucking idiots. So he wanted us to go into what would have been maybe Macy's, whatever the store with a higher end menswear section where you
Okay.
you could get a suit for nothing like $8,000. Yeah, no, you could spend $300 plus on a suit jacket, let's say.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to watch the suits section and send in a teenager dressed like respectably, a teenager dressed like really shabbily, like, "Oh, I don't have any money," and a teenager already wearing a suit.
Okay.
This was my job, to be
Okay.
the teenager wearing a suit, going into the suit section of Macy's, shopping for more suits, because gosh darn it, I love suits. I'm like 16. This suit does not fit me remotely. I'm a box. It's just got my shoulders popping out, baggy suit. And all I could think of as an adult now is like, this must have been so fucking clear and obvious what was happening. Like, we've got one person with a notepad like across, just
following
kind of like
people around,
pretending
Yeah.
to shop. Looking. And I'm sure we just had this one salesperson just like, I fucking hate my job.
Yeah.
But I had to act that part. That was my first like improv experience, was going out. It was improv everywhere, which I hate.
Yeah.
But was briefly a part of. It felt horrible. It was similar, like it wasn't for what I would call nefarious purposes, like a TikTok prank. It was for the greater good. It was for Josh to get an A. But,
Yeah.
man, I felt like a schmuck. Just pretending like, because then and to be fair, the salesperson did come up to me and ask if I needed help. I don't know if the psychology checks out, but I did have to be like, just looking around. I think I had my hands like folded behind my back, like, nice wares you've got here. Oh, it sucked, but then it was just a fun day at the mall. It was an excuse to go to the mall, which I always enjoyed with my buds. We got some food afterwards. That's as good as life gets.
Did you feel like that character suit you?
All right. I'll give it to you. I took a few with the
Respectable.
with the Chandler and the Amal Clooney. You get one more.
Okay, I'm gonna have to
Fit it in
wait
there.
for where
Well,
my
to be
spot-
fair, we gave you Skater Boy too. You might be out. We might be.
we
even.
gave you
We
Skater
gave you
Boy.
Skater Boy.
What
Me and
is
the
this we?
me and the audience are on the same side. You've gone far
That's
enough.
messed up. Why? Just because you run the social media?
Yeah!
You're the one who interacts with them.
Because I'm the one that edits the episode, and I'll edit out all my bad jokes and leave in yours, and it'd take out my reaction, so it's silence. Oh, golly jeepers! Do we got more to talk about? Is it time to get into a quiz? I could talk about the mall forever. It's my sweet spot in life. I love a food court most of all. It's the dream, isn't it? Like, everyone can
Yeah.
eat anything they want. Go get your food. Go
That's
get your
true.
food.
We may have to do a sequel to this episode where you and I go to a mall.
Yes.
Clooney, she's the guest.
And we walk by near her and see what happens. And I'm wearing a suit.
We have little signs that say "Homeless."
You're holding a
Um,
sign. I'm wearing a suit.
Who's she gonna approach?
Us or George
Us
Clooney?
or literally anyone else. Anyways, but you and I, maybe we'll go to have a mall day. Maybe
I'd
at the
love this.
Burbank Mall, we can pop into a Men's Warehouse. See
Yeah.
what sort of shenanigans we can get up to in
We'll
there.
do some psychology experiments.
Yeah. I real quick, the only other thing I had is that I was at a Target recently, and
Big spender.
I saw two people who were shopping together go up to a mannequin and try taking off the mannequin's clothes because they wanted to buy those clothes. It's a thing I've never seen before.
I've never seen that happen. I could understand asking an employee, like, is that floor? Are there more? Can I take the floor model? But just, hey, strip that mannequin.
Strip them down, baby.
I mean, if you're having a hard time walking around Target, you're not finding anything in your size, and you're just like, we all agree that mannequin is exactly my size. It fits him perfectly.
We all agree.
Or maybe it was a mannequin situation like the movie. And it was like, I literally am that size. I'm a living mannequin.
I've never seen that movie.
It's insane. You and Catherine, sit down and watch Mannequin. It's Jocelyn and I did it maybe 2 years ago. Worthwhile. Insane James Spader performance in there as a nerdy little villain. It's fun. The backstory for why the mannequin comes to life begins in Egypt.
Of course.
It's an absolutely fucking insane movie. Arguably bad, but we had a really good time watching it.
Is it so? The opposite of Mallrats, where like you can recommend it, but
yes.
you don't necessarily like it.
Yeah. I mean, and it truly is a movie about. I think it's Andrew McCarthy just fucking a mannequin. It's a horny movie. He wants to fuck a mannequin. He does fuck a mannequin, and that's it.
Both movies starting with M.A.
Yeah.
Is that interesting?
It is. Mallnikin?
Okay.
Is that a movie?
Mallnikin Man Rats?
I mean, Man Rats is clearly a movie. How's there never been a movie called Man Rats? It's like Street Sharks or Biker Mice from Mars. I'd watch Man Rats as a child. Man Rats.
We do have a quiz to take.
We do.
And this is a quiz from uquiz.com.
Love it.
And the premise is simple. It's that we shop.
Is it?
It's so simple. Basically,
how do I put this together?
We shop at the Forbidden Mall, whatever that is, and the quiz maker will judge us. That is the title. The title of this quiz: "Shop at the Forbidden Mall, and I will judge you."
Love it. Oh, I think you sent it to me.
I have sent you the link as well, so that we can each be judged separately.
We have the same first question.
Yes, which is that you head to the food court first. Which forbidden snack beckons you?
Huh?
Yellow sponge?
Oh, no.
Pebbles? Glade wax melts?
Oh, my God.
Pencil grips? Lush bath bomb? Or string instrument rosin?
Interesting. I believe it's pronounced rosin.
Okay.
You fool. I started this off like, of course, not a sponge or pebbles. I'm also now figuring out this quiz is insane and I love it. But I went, yellow sponge, ew, pebbles, what? You can't eat. Glade wax melts.
Yeah.
And then Lush bath bomb came in too. And I was like, I think it's Glade wax melts for old Evan. That sounds great.
And I think I'm going Lush bath bomb.
Those are the two best answers.
I was also at Big Lots the other day, and Big Lots is a store that has just like
Big lots of
insane
everything.
products that nobody would ever want to purchase.
Yeah.
And one of the things I saw as I was in the checkout lane, Sour Patch Kids bath bombs, and also Jolly Rancher bath bombs.
Sour Patch one sounds
What?
painful. The Jolly Rancher one sounds sticky as hell.
Sticky.
Awful.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I still have to hit next. Next. Question 2. People pass you. You aren't sure they're all human. But who are you to judge? You make your way into a boutique. What's your first purchase? What is this quiz? Is your first purchase in this boutique after passing people you're not sure are human? Is it a perfectly tailored suit, a warm hooded cloak, black ankle boots, or a red poison ring? I mean, I've got eczema. That poison ring's gonna fuck up my hand. Otherwise, it sounds cool.
Look, I love a perfectly tailored
All
suit.
right.
I think that's what I gotta go with. I mean, a warm hooded cloak is fun, but
These are, yeah. I might go with that. I'm like leaning away from the warm hooded cloak because it's very warm in my apartment right now. But
yeah,
that is my answer. I have to take right this second out because I'm not here. I'm at the Forbidden Mall and it's cold there. I would love a warm hooded cloak. Please and thank you.
Question 3. You see a sign for a thrift shop and walk inside. There are objects everywhere. They tower over you, stacked at your feet and over the sides. You are enclosed in a sea of esoteric. What do you choose? A mahogany overcoat? An original painting by Artemisia Gentileschi? An antique clock with a secret compartment? A mirror framed in silver? The Nachosaurus? Or a sword, the perfect size and weight for you to wield it?
The thing about this is I'm like, this is so random. But this is like, it is that sense of humor that like, we all fucking hated like early MySpace days of like, oh, it's random. The bacon narwhals at midnight. But I'm like, this is funny. this is pretty well done to get through all those and then reach the Nachosaurus. It's funny. That makes me laugh. My instant reaction was an antique clock with a secret compartment because I got shit to hide, you know?
Yeah, that's also my first instinct as well. And I'm trying to decide if I pick something else so that we get judged differently for sure, or if I stick to my true self. I guess if we're being judged, I should stick with what my instinct is.
We're both going to be Taylor Swift anyways.
With a secret compartment.
Next, question 4. Now go to the potion cellar for a refreshing beverage. Choose one. Cactus juice, Quill, Dayquil, and NyQuil is called Quill. That sarcophagus juice. Slow Fast, trademarked. I don't know what that is. Bang Energy, or all lowercase molten lava.
Yeah, I mean, I have an instinct on this.
Mine too.
I don't know what your
my instinct is cactus juice.
Okay, my instinct is Quill, Dayquil, and NyQuil.
I think they call that robo-tripping.
I can't find what Slow Fast TM is.
Well, now I'm kind of tempted by it. Sounds cool.
I'm sticking with Dayquil plus NyQuil. I've mentioned on this podcast before how the wonders of NyQuil work, and so I gotta go tried and true. Plus, with the Dayquil mixed in, maybe it'll counteract the sleepiness part.
You're a real Quill Ferrell,
yeah,
or Quill Smith. You get slapped in the face
Smith
with that.
Yeah, that's what I'll be doing if I fall asleep. Slapping myself, the slap heard round the world.
That's right.
Your next destination is a tiny dusty bookstore.
Love it.
It's softly lit and there are stacks of books everywhere. Which book are you drawn to? The thick black hardcover embossed in gold. It's a roller coaster, but has a happy ending. A thrilling graphic novel with the best art you've ever seen. A mint green hardcover. The writing on the spine has been torn off. The paper is jagged and torn. It may answer your every question or leave you with more. Or a purple book with hundreds of silenced or secret accounts written by people now lost in time.
I want that mint green hardcover. I almost think I already own it. That's right up my alley. Of an old fucked up book.
I'm going to go with a thrilling graphic novel with the best art I've ever seen.
That's a good. That's a good.
Honestly, all four of those books are pretty interesting.
I'll read them all. Your next stop holds all your pirating dreams.
Wonderful.
You've got
all my pirating
You've got to hurry before all the loot is gone. What do you run to? The extensive anime collection? A copy of the Supernatural finale, except Destiel properly goes canon? I don't know anything about Supernatural, but y'all really set things on fire with that. This must be a community.
I guess.
Full PDFs of all your favorite books? Why can't I find an eye patch? Wait, wrong type of pirate shop. Aw. You get nothing. You are lawful. Derogatory? So lawful as a negative.
Lawful is derogatory.
Got it. Wow, this is confusing. All right.
It is confusing because, like, full PDFs of all my favorite books. Why is that in the mall? Why is that not on the internet?
Well, that's because they're pirating. So I'm assuming they mean like torrenting stuff. I don't know why that's at the mall, but it's the forbidden mall.
I guess you're right. Yeah. Okay, I know what my answer is.
And I will say I hate reading a PDF. Anytime I've like, this book I want to read, the only version available is a PDF. It always sucks. It always sucks to read. Get me out of there. Why can't I find that out? I mean, it's the eye patch. I wanted it to be pirates.
That is the wrong. Is also my.
That is the wrong type of pirate shop.
Yeah.
I like anime. Okay, I don't need an extensive collection. I watch one every 5 years.
Don't be shy. Get another snack with 2 C's.
Boom.
We can either have fish tank gravel, packing peanuts, mini bouncy balls, or we're good, thanks.
The packing peanuts and the bouncy balls seem hard to eat. Not that fish tank gravel doesn't, but it's just got like, it's almost like nerds, where it's like they're all shaped differently. It seems like that would be a tactile experience. And I want the fish tank gravel.
I'm going packing peanuts on this one.
Great. If you
just something light and fluffy,
and if you fall down, your insides will be safe.
That's right.
Okay, so this is question 8 of 9, but sounds like the last one. I think we're about to be tricked. It's been a real adventure. How do you leave? Melt into the floor and reemerge back in your bed? Great. Ask the shopper who's been shyly eyeing you. Us. They happily walk you out and you continue your conversation in the dark. Just walk out? Run through a pillar and into the outside world? Or jump out a window? Great.
These are great options.
I just want to melt into the floor. I want to be a little Alex Mack. That's all I ever wanted to be when I was young. I wanted to be able to melt into the floor and go places.
Yeah, melt into the floor is a good one. I mean, my instinct is the just walk out. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of the ask the shopper who's been shyly eyeing
These are all
you.
good
but
answers. I want to jump out a window.
Like you and I discussed, like, just because a shopper is shyly eyeing you, that doesn't really necessarily leave the best impression. So I'm just going to say just walk out. Question 9 of 9. Well, you're back home. What did you think of your experience? It was very fun. I liked it, but now crave for such a place to exist. I just want an escape from my mundane life. Nice. Wish the trip was longer, though. Or it was enjoyable. So you can only
You can only have had
be
a good
positive
time.
about the Forbidden Mall.
Because I did
No
have a good
negative
time.
opinions.
It was very fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna go nice. Wish the trip was longer though. Not that we need to take longer
No,
quizzes on this podcast,
But I think that was just enough of the Forbidden Mall for me. I thought it was very fun.
All right, let's see how we get judged.
I'm not going to look at your screen, so I don't know what you're...
Okay, I'll read mine first, and
okay.
then I'll take mine out. So my result is violence. You would slay in a suit. Not just look great, because everyone can look great in a suit. No, you would slay your enemies in a suit. You're not as chaotic as the ruffian, but there's a certain level of feral in you that one can't help but respect. Congratulations!
Now, I also got violence.
Woo!
Says the exact same thing, but look. Oh no, never mind. That's how your results compare to others. I thought it was saying I was 37% something else, 22% that, but they gave me the second best one. But some of the other options are smooth. Someone's an academic. You ruffian, bro. You're boring. You're mysterious, and I like it. But we both got violence.
We both got violence.
We slay in a suit.
Yeah. It's interesting because we chose what, 1 or 2 of the same answers out of 9, and we still even these quizzes, no matter how differently we answer them, refuse to believe that we're different people.
I mean, I think having now this extra context, it's like, yeah, that is how I'd describe us. Aren't we a couple of violent Taylor Swifts?
Violent boys, yeah. We are violent Taylor Swifts.
Two violent Taylor Swifts.
Yeah.
That's the new name of the podcast.
Yeah.
Get those SEO numbers up.
You knew we were trouble when we walked in.
Step. Oh,
yeah. After we kill our enemies, of course, we tell them to shake it off.
Shake it off. It's no big deal. You're listening to How Do We Human, and you've loved it. You love like a mall.
It was either very fun.
It
was enjoyable. You wish it was longer.
You talked to the 2 guys who were creepily eyeing you and walking around. Like a mall, you can walk around How Do We Human and see all sorts of different places. We're available in all these different stores. If you walk down our mall, you see, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, I don't know. Ooh, Daddy Podbean? Yes, I do. You can find us any of these places, and any of these places you can do different things. Listen to more episodes. You can leave us a rating. You can leave us a review. Everything helps us get found. More importantly, you can tell your friends. Just tell people. Post about us. Talk with us on social media, because we're also on social media. You can find us on Instagram at How Do We Human.
We got that handle.
You can find us on Facebook at How Do We Human.
I don't think you're ready for that handle.
You can find us on YouTube. The URL I gave last time, that's not the URL, but we are at How Do We Human.
Gotta get that handle.
And last but not least, send us an email. We love it. It's been a minute since we've received an email, but we love to see them. It's always a pleasure. Tell us nice things. Ask us questions. Just start a conversation. We're a couple of violent Taylor Swifts, and we're sweet. You can email us scratch it, reverse it. You can, I guess it is at. You can email us at, just not an at symbol. You understand where we're going with this?
Yeah. Have you ever seen an email address before?
You can email us.
Not at the beginning.
You can email us at howdowehumanpod@gmail.com.
That's not an ampersand.
What do you call those?
I think it's the at symbol.
It's not an ampersand. You can email us. Let's try it again. Ampersand, you can email. You can do all those other things. Ampersand, you can email us at howdowehumanpod at gmail.com. Hit it, Chris.
The best part of that handle is that it's on email.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
I gotta look up what if there's a name for an at sign. But while I'm doing that, what do you got going on?
It's a great question. I don't remember if this is something that we talked about in the last episode and it came up, or if I just thought of it on my own. It's one of those things where I've written something in my notes app and I don't remember what it was.
Always the best.
So I'd like to plug the concept of moon heist.
Moon heist. I feel like that came up in conversation.
Probably.
I think maybe it was even an episode, but we talked about moon heist for sure. Not in one of these though. But yes, let's plug the idea of moon heist. It's coming.
Plug the idea of moon heist.
That might have been
whatever those two words conjure in your brain.
I think it was
plugging.
An off episode conversation because I had just watched the Oceans 12 and 13, which I had never seen before.
Oh,
and we
yes,
were like,
it is. And we were like, why didn't they go to space?
Where have all the heist movies gone? What if they'd continued like Fast and the Furious?
Oh, the gods.
Moon heist is where we ended up, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's great.
Who doesn't want to see Moon Heist?
Who doesn't want to see Moon Heist?
Yeah.
Leave us a 5-star review if you do or do not want to see Moon Heist. Evan?
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to plug?
First, I would like to plug that the at symbol in Israel is commonly known as a strudel.
Oh, interesting.
But it doesn't really have a name. It's definitely not an ampersand, though. That's what I found out. Toaster hats. But yeah, I've got some big ideas. You know, there's a lot of talk. You know, politics. We got an election coming up. People are concerned about the economy. Who's better for the economy? Who's worse for the economy? The economy's in trouble. And the whole thing is like, you know, we need more money pumping in and pumping out. Well, how do we do that? How do we get more money in the hands of Americans, American citizens? Dogs.
Moon heist.
Moon heist. Dogs are highly trainable animals. You know, we see dogs that learn to communicate by putting their paws on little buttons. And they say, I want food. I want this. I can look in my dog's eyes and my dog says things to me. I think 100% we can give dogs money and teach them that money gets them stuff. I think dogs will start going to the store and buying treats. This is the cutest thought in the world, and it would be a boost to the economy. And I needed it. I needed a URL, and unfortunately, what I accidentally wrote down, it just stuck. I hit enter. I paid for it, and it's done. So it's just called. I can't even say it. Dogs joins the economy.
So okay.
Go to dogsjoinstheeconomy.com and support this idea. Make dogs pay their way. Why do they get a free ride?
Yeah, why? Because they're our best friends.
I gotta buy my dog's treats. No. You're on your own. Get your own fucking apartment.
Yeah.
I'm subletting this place to my dog.
Yeah, that'll improve the housing market. Is if we have to compete against dogs too.
Oh man, how many dogs would like get together and buy like a hype house?
Oh man, hotel for dogs too.
Yay. Okay, well.
Okay.
Ampersand. Bye.